Okay, I'm live again in Los Altos just to kind of wrap up the results of my little kind of combined hybrid of protest about silencing conservatives in Silicon Valley. You can see all the big tech companies down here. I had this sign out for about an hour and a half. And also the recall petition drive for recalling Gavin Newsom. So I wrote down a little quick summary of what I found in Los Altos, which is a fairly typical representation of a Silicon Valley elitist town. It's a small town. It's where a lot of the very wealthy, affluent Silicon Valley people live. They don't like living in the big cities, apparently. They like the small, safe towns. So the first hour I spent on the Gavin Newsom recall petitions, trying to get people to sign the recall. I got exactly, let's see, number of signatures, 0. So nobody came up to sign the recall petition, meaning that they're pretty satisfied with the governor, who's progressive, ultra progressive, I would call him. And one lady actually drove by a car and looked at me with this really nasty look and shaking her head like I was committing a felony here on the streets next to the Le Boulanger. The second point I wanted to make was that the people here, they don't engage at all with anything related to this. I don't know, maybe they're just apolitical, maybe they just have better things to do with their time, but they certainly don't want to talk about either recalling Gavin Newsom or the issue of silencing conservatives on social media. That seems to be very almost pointless, or zero interest in that. I had about 4 conservative / Trump supporters come up, give me either thumbs up or talk, and I had at-length discussions, and one guy who lives in Los Altos actually had his U.S. flag stolen off his front of his house, and I have my flag here. There's Old Glory, and to be honest, I actually felt uncomfortable at times having my flag with me, and that's a really kind of a sick statement about what's happening to the country, where you feel almost embarrassed to be next to your flag. Not that I am. I'll proudly wave it any time in front of anyone, but they just want to make you feel that way. It's like saying Merry Christmas when you should be saying Happy Holidays. So I encourage everyone to say Merry Christmas if you're Christian, no matter what the other person is in terms of their religious position. It's okay. During Christmas time, you can say it. It's kind of a happy, cheerful thing to say. But they try to guilt you out and not make you feel comfortable with doing certain things that they want to reject, like the American flag. So it was really kind of disheartening to see that people didn't want to engage here. I don't care, that it's their weekend, they want to relax, they've worked hard. I mean, we all do, right? But it just, there's no one walking up to me and giving me the counter view, or asking more deeper questions about it. So it means most of Los Altos is a progressive liberal city, spoon-fed by CNN. Clearly, it's a spoon-fed town, because obviously they work a lot and they don't have time to scratch below the surface of politics. So the third point I wanted to make was that they they live comfy lives. Let's look at these comfy lives here. Okay, that's a town that hasn't experienced riots, hasn't experienced homeless tents, or crapping on sidewalks, or discarded needles, filth, garbage, crime. This is not Los Altos. In fact, if you're sleeping on the sidewalk in Los Altos, the cops will take you away, and they'll probably send you over to Santa Cruz, where they gladly accept any homeless person that creeps upon them. And by the way, I just had my truck broken into 2 nights ago. Found the guy at 11 p.m. because I have cameras, parked outside. My truck was parked outside, and went out there, and the guy's sitting in there, door shut, in my passenger seat, going through my glove box. He stole prescription medication. He stole a knife that I had in there, and loose change, and whatever else. And he left a big oil stain on my seat, and it stunk. The whole truck stunk after that. And I got into it with him. He ran away. But that's what Los Altos isn't exposed to, and that's why everyone sits there quietly, eating their meals, enjoying the good life. So, in my opinion, these are the types of towns that have to be shaken up. These are where the people from, you know, the Googles and the Facebooks, and this is their home, and this is where they feel protected, and they don't get what the rest of the country gets, which is a mouthful of crap from progressives. So these are progressives who don't have to feel the effects of their own politics. They're happy to, you know, be immune or in their little bubble, telling all of the rest of us what's good for us until the middle class decides to leave California, and that's just going to leave the poverty-stricken and the elites. And you're looking at the elites, and so where else is the government going to go of California? They're going to go straight to the elites, just like New York. They lost their elites. New York City, where are they going to get that money to fund all of those social programs? They're probably not. They'll go bankrupt. I know that New York's always begged Trump to send them money when they're going into bankruptcy, but they let their town go to crap. So Trump said no, and I'm 100,000% on board with that. The taxpayer money going to these liberal cities that allow crime to go out of control. So if it is an eventuality, and I hope it's not, that the Democrats steal the election through mail-in voting fraud, this is certainly a place where I hope to get a crowd of people to walk down the streets and disrupt, of course, disrupt by noise and not by violence, but to disrupt lifestyles, and disrupt these people who feel they are immune to talking to you and to exchanging views, that their views are formed, and they all of these people are very happy to silence conservatives because whatever they do, they're not affected. There's just it's a safe little town, safe and secure, and at a minimum I wanted to kind of disrupt their morning. And there are people who do read my sign as they walk by, but that's about the extent of what they're willing to listen to and tolerate. Okay. All right, so that's the wrap up for the day. You know, I would say I was unable to actually convince anybody because they didn't want to talk. They're living their life. But again, the key takeaway is that they're living in a bubble. Their decisions and the actions they take in the progressive cause that result in a lot of calamitous policies, they don't feel them at all. They have the money not to feel them, but the world will enter that bubble soon, I feel, and their lives are going to be more similar to the lives of the rest of us in the middle class and the lower class. So, in my opinion, these are the real enemies of the country. These are people who can vote for extreme policies that hurt the country: illegal immigration, sanctuary cities, welfare states, permanent, fatherless homes in black neighborhoods, public schools where there's no school choice, because the public indoctrinations would be affected if they were. So they might not know it, but they're the ones that are causing it all. This is the white liberal elite, okay, of Silicon Valley. All right, take care, everybody. Nice talking to you. I will be back another day. It's just kind of spontaneous now, these protests, as we approach the election. And I wish everyone well. Wish all my fellow brothers and sisters in conservative lands across the nation good luck, and do your part as well. Even though I'm one person, I hope to make at least a small difference, and a lot of me put together will make a big difference, hopefully, coming November 3rd. All right, signing off. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.